So we'll be going to review of literature, very important step in the health research. Am I audible? Can I get some responses on the chat box?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I think what I expect that after 2 sessions, what you had, we request all of you to write down your research questions. So hope you all are ready with your research question. Similarly, when you formulate your research question, you should also formulate your null hypothesis, as already Banerjee sir has told you what is to be done. And with those research questions, now we go to the next part, is a review of literature. This is a very important thing to know what is already known or what is not known. And review of literature is nothing but it is a systematic investigative process. This process is done to increase your knowledge, revise this knowledge, to find out the gaps, and definitely it will help you to give direction in what way you are going to proceed in your. So what we require, what are the learning objectives of this session? Why we require a literature review? Why do you want to do it? What is this literature review? How to do this literature review, how it is performed, and what are the steps in the literature review, and there are some ethical concerns also involved. So why should you do this literature review? This main advantage is that it saves a lot of time in the research, because already if a lot of research is already done, then you don't need to repeat the same thing. So always whenever you are taking any dissertation, you must see that you should be taking some innovative topic. You should not do what is already done. So if you do already done, then it will be waste of time. And similarly, you may not get good publication because this research is not giving any knowledge. So most of the time, the publication will be refused, saying that there is no new knowledge in this research. Second thing is to know the subject matter better.
Video on here.
I think please mute yourself. Similarly, when you know the subject matter better after review of literature, this will also tell you some new research topic or questions. This also will tell you what are the gaps in the knowledge. And these gaps will make you understand that this is the area where you should work and the area where you should do the research. This will also help you to develop new research question and always new method of, it may be new methods for the existing subject. Why should you do this research or review of literature? It is mainly for information gathering. You are gathering information. It is a systematic way. It can scan the literature very efficiently. Previously, some 20 years back, when there was no internet, then we used to do it as a manually. Nowadays, it has become so easy. The computerized methods are available. Where you can get those things done through these different websites. Even referring the book, reading the manuscripts, referring the conference proceeding is also literature. This will give definitely idea for the research. Another important step in this ROL is doing the critical appraisal. And at this postgraduate level, we want you people to critically appraise. And what do you understand by critically appraise? That means you should know whether this study is good or bad, or is it a biased study or unbiased study? Is it a valid? It is a real. So you should be able to tell that this study is really genuine study. If you are able to make that decision, that means your analytic thinking has started improving. So this is what we don't want you to people to just to ratify or just to say that because somebody WHO has said we are agreeing. It should not happen like that. So it is like you should also find out what is there can be some other different things which you are looking at, or you may be the first person to tell new thing to the world. So always remember, you should have always this critical appraisal in your mind, and if you improve this analytic thinking, definitely you will be able to come out with unbiased and valid study. Similarly, you should also identify what are the studies useful for you and which are the studies not useful for you. After doing this review of literature, you have to organize all this information according to your research question. I think when we do this research review of literature through PubMed, you will know there are many articles you will get, but you will have to see which are the articles which you don't want and which are the articles you want to keep for yourself. You have to synthesize the results. You have to find out which is the article which is giving good result, then summarize it. Always summarize it in a form like what is known, what is not known. This will help you to write the introduction of this review of literature. So how to write that thing also we'll discuss in the next few slides. Identify gaps in the literature, lead to new research question, and this will create a new research path for you. So what is this information retrieval? What are we talking about? There are large databases available, something like PubMed, Medline. There are so many certified websites, and I think most of us, we use this Google. But you remember, Google Scholar is the best thing what you should refer, not the Google, because you will get some information which is meant for general public, common man. And as a health professional, what is the thing which you want as a scientific thing? So there are some scientific websites. Then you identify, and you have the special set of queries. These queries, that means what are the keywords. So when you develop your research questions, identify your keywords. And what are those keywords, we'll discuss in next few slides. Identify the relevant document based on your keywords. Then don't follow this general information you may get on health or net, which is not required, but specifically medically relevant website should be followed. And these databases are nothing but these are the information of scientific knowledge, most which are stored in the electronic form. So these are good databases available right now. So your review of literature has become very easy. Similarly, you can also refer non-electronic form like books, journals, or conference, and collectively, or maybe e-library or the library which you have got. So there are so many things which are available with you. Few to say where to search. These are the good websites where you should go for. PubMed. This is a database of scientific citations. Scopus, very good data website. Then Google Scholar. And if you want to only focus on systemic reviews or meta-analysis, Cochrane Library. Similarly, Map of Medicine is also available for evidence-based medical articles. Most commonly, what we refer is PubMed, which is maintained by National Center for Biotechnical Information, National Library for Medicine, under National Institute of Health, so NIH. When you put your Google PubMed, you go to this PubMed site, and that PubMed you should go to PubMed Central. Why PubMed Central? Because here you get all free text, full text available. Whenever you are doing review of literature, always try to get at least initial few, I will say minimum 20, 30 articles, which should be full text. Because PubMed, you will get abstract, you may get books, or you may get journals, or may proceedings, but you have to refer to full text. So you go to PubMed Central. And when I was just talking to you about keywords, another important keyword you should know is a medical subject heading. It's also known as MESH. So this is a particular term which you have to refer. And when you are doing the search, and I think I will share one video where this video will teach you how to go for the medical subject heading. Please go through that video. And by tomorrow, you should be ready with your MESH research question. You should be ready with your MESH keywords, and you should be able to get some minimum 5 recent articles, full text for your whatever dissertation you are planning to do. And this keyword should be in contact with this National Library of Medicine, because then you are, most of the time, if your MESH word is standardized, then there are more chances of publication. Because this is also, can you put this video? So this is the PubMed. You refer, go to PubMed, and PubMed Central will be there. Find out your MESH word medical subject heading. Second concept which you should know is a Boolean query, and Boolean query is nothing but it is a standardized one where how to use and, or, not. When you add these words in your keywords or MESH words, you get good quality of article. Particularly, you can narrow down whatever you want to look for. Similarly, whenever you get some of these articles, there may be some, you will have to compare the methods. Like suppose if you look at HIV infection and you are looking at some test, which is a ELISA test, PCR test, you are comparing, or maybe some of these at standardized newer methods, advanced methods. So which method is better? So when you are comparing, you have to method results, but depending on you, whatever findings you get from all these articles, you need to find out what is the research question you are looking at. And when you come to this research question,
take a photo of this.
and, or not, these are the things, words which you can use and get you can do smart review of literature. and focus on whatever you want to look at. For example, if you are looking at lung and infection, you can just put these two words, lung and infection, in the PubMed, search for the articles, lung or infection, search for the articles, and you can see that how the review of literature, number of articles are getting, number of changing. So that we'll see the demo. Then whenever you get articles, you tabulate those articles to organize and compare. So this is a tabular form I have given. This is just example. You can just modify as per your requirement. Usually we start with the chronological, start with the recent, go to the past, or you can start with the past to the recent, but always better you recent 5 years, recent articles are required for your dissertation. Don't go take any article which is more than 10-year-old. So even in publication, we reject if articles references are old one. So always try to get recent articles. For synopsis, minimum 5 recent articles in the last 1 year or 2 years. You put in a tabular form, what is that study? What is the study design that author has used? What are their objectives? What is their study population, sample size? Look at the outcome, or what is their conclusion? And if your study is matching with this, compare. If your research question is something different, then you can put one more whatever table form, and then you can come to conclusion that these are the 4 or 5 articles which are matching my research question, and these are the articles which I will use for my synopsis writing. Now coming to how to write literature review. So there are 3 important parts for this literature review. It starts with introduction. I think already, as Tilak sir has said, the introduction should not be 1.5 page. So now for the synopsis, try to restrict yourself on the minimum. So that main idea of synopsis, that it will give gist of your research, what you want to do, how you want to do, and how will you reach that, and how will you know that you have reached that aim or goal post. Okay. So try to be very smart, crisp. So your synopsis should tell what you are going to do in the next 1.5 years. So the introduction should tell us purpose of review. Why are you doing this? Is it a public health problem? Is it a problem for you? Is it a lab, the test which you find that there are limitation of this, or any diagnostic test which has got limitation? Do you want to do something new? And how you are organized this literature. That is also, it should come step by step, that maybe 2015, this was the situation. Now 2017, this is how the things have changed. And 2020, this is the scenario. And now this is the 2022, you are finding out the solution for the problem what you are facing in 20. So this is how the introduction will start. Purpose, why are you doing, how are you organizing, what are the queries made, and how you are collected. Actually, this how you have made the queries, this will come in your material methods. Then how to write down all existing information. Get some good quality study relevant to your research question. May I ask, I think few people have kept their audios on. Please mute yourself. So second part of writing is the empirical literature. Take good quality studies relevant to your research. Explain why this study is positive in your own. Very important. Plagiarism will plagiarism all your dissertation, in all even writing work, publication. It is very, very important. Don't copy paste, because review of literature, you are going to get caught by this plagiarism software. So please use own words. Try to read the article, make your own summary, and critically appraise, but it should be appraisal should be scholarly. Don't put blame on anything. Smartly, you should scholarly should come out with their shortcomings on the identify the lacunae in the study. Also spell out some strength and novel methods, and you should focus on this is the lacunae or this is the novel method which you are thinking, and that is why you are this study. Dr. Sharan, can you put your audio off? Dr. Sharan? So summarizing, it should be in a concise way. Existing knowledge about your research question, known, not known. lacunae in the gap, and conclude literature review by saying that these are the lacunae and this is your finding. Your research is trying to answer this question, and that is the hence we want to conduct this study. So that is how your research review of literature should end. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Any queries, any questions? So whenever you are doing this, I think, am I clear? Anybody who has got any doubts, any questions, any queries, please. Otherwise, we are going to put one video and you are going to work on your research question and ROL, and please submit 5 articles which are of recent, maybe last 2 years, and related to your research questions. So at this end of this session, we all want all of you to work on your synopsis, and by that time your at least 25% work will be done. Any queries? Thank you.